Hello and welcome again to Backpage. I'm Jody Seay, and today, this is a treat, because it's a big treat. I'm visiting with Christina Pratt, who's written a remarkable collection, an Encyclopedia of Shamanism. And this is just A through M, I guess, or A through N right here. I was telling her a while ago it was such a good book I couldn't put it down because I couldn't pick it all up at the same time. There's a lot of interesting information because one of the things I found out that I didn't know about shamanism is that the connecting thread through all shamans is the trance state. They go into a trance state, and this allows them to go to travel through to the upper world and the lower world and explain all that.
Well, it's a really interesting time to try to explain it because we also have science coming in now and actually doing the math for us and explaining it. So from a scientific perspective, you're basically able through the shamanic trance states to move outside of space and time. Okay, because here in ordinary reality, we're in a nice, well, assuming we're functioning well, we're in a space-time grid and we're pretty locked in.
Right.
But the shamanic trance states are designed to move us out of that and to see the invisible world that's around us all the time. And it's usually referred to as the spirit world, which is one of the problems, because then we think we're just walking around with ghosts, and that's not really the case. But the problem is English, which doesn't have a lot of juicy words to talk about this kind of stuff. So one way to think of it is every human is physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, which means 3/4 of who we are is invisible. Emotional, mental, and spiritual is essentially invisible to us, but clearly it affects us constantly. And so you can look at the invisible world as just that aspect of what's going on if you're not inclined to get more dramatic about it.
Right.
But from a shamanic perspective, everything has invisible dimensions: trees, rocks, animals, birds, weather, spirits of the land, or energies of the land. And so what, from a shamanic perspective, we're not only accessing the human realms that are invisible, but how that interfaces with everything having these invisible dimensions. And I mean just invisible to our normal 5 senses.
Right.
And so one way to think of shamanic trance states is they're a way to enhance our natural senses that are beyond the 5 senses. I mean, we're all intuitive. We talk about how mothers have this extrasensory perception for their kids.
Or
and
I
so
just had a gut feeling.
Exactly, or deja vu, or whatever. I mean, we all have that. And so the shamanic trance states are really designed to hook into what all humans have naturally and enhance them and develop the capacity to use them on purpose. And so the purpose then for shamanism, because another underlying thread that ties all shamanic cultures together is the belief that everything begins first in that invisible world.
Right.
And then it manifests in reality.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.